The Lakers dynasty is over. I know that there's a lot of Lakers fans out there, okay, and I know that a lot of you guys are ready to write in the comments and say how I'm wrong and I'm just a loser Kings fan. I know I am. I think we're starting to approach an era where the Lakers team and organization and the legacy behind it kind of starts to fizzle away and there isn't much left to it. If we look at the Lakers roster right now, the main people you have on that team is Russell Westbrook, the GOAT, LeBron James, and AD, mainly Russell Westbrook. All jokes aside, LeBron James probably has 2 more years left max with the Lakers before he finally goes over and hangs out with Bronny James at whatever team he gets drafted to. And with that happening, realistically, Anthony Davis is probably going to want to find another place to go now that the Lakers won't be winning it all. And that's when we'll really see the whole Lakers team currently dissolve and go away and start a new rebuild. Now, I will say the Lakers are nowhere near championship contenders right now, and I don't think they will be for the next 2 years that they have LeBron James. So with that being said, all the Lakers have to do is rebuild. Well, they don't have their next 3 picks. They might have their 2024, 2025 picks if OKC decides not to take one of them, but pretty much for the next 3 years, 2 years, they don't have their first round picks. Now, that's nothing crazy for the Lakers as they are the Los Angeles Lakers. They're always a free agent destination, and I think that might change with what the Clippers are about to do. Yes, I said the Clippers. This isn't just a Lakers hate video. This video is about the Clippers taking over LA. The Clippers are going to run LA for the first time ever. The only time the Clippers really had an edge over the Lakers was back during the Lob City era, if you're not talking about recently. But I am going to say with the recent success that the Clippers had, not counting last year with their injury-ridden PG-13 and Kawhi Leonard, but their 2020-2021 year where they made it to the Western Conference Finals was the best year in franchise history. And I think that that's setting a bar that they are ready to meet and maybe even exceed in these next couple years. And if you really look at it, you have the Clippers who are probably going to be conference finals, if not NBA finals contenders. And then you have the Lakers who will be rebuilding with no LeBron James, no AD, and no GOAT Russell Westbrook. Now with this happening, I feel like if anyone in free agency wants to go to LA, they're going to want to go to the winning team, and that's the Los Angeles Clippers. And it always feels like no matter what happens, no matter how good the Clippers are, they're always in the shadow of the Lakers. And I feel like that's because of one thing, and it's because they share the same arena. Okay, well, that's not the main reason. Obviously, it's because the Lakers have legacy behind them and stuff, but hang on with me here. With the Clippers finally breaking ground on the new arena, I feel like this is like their one time they have to shine and show that they are better than the Lakers and show that their organization can help players more than the Lakers can. I'd probably say that the one downside the Clippers have is that they don't have another first round pick until the 2027 NBA season, which is pretty insane to really think about. The fact that they traded away all those picks, but it could be worth it. You know, if they're going to be this close to making the finals, and if they do make the finals and end up maybe winning a championship, this is their time to beat the Lakers. And I think that this is such a crucial time for the organization. And if you're a Clippers fan, and if you're not a Clippers fan, maybe it's time you switch over, because let's be honest, every Lakers fan is a bandwagoner. That's going to piss some people off. I will just say really quick too, I feel like ever since the Clippers moved to LA without the NBA's permission, I feel like they always kind of knew that they'd be in the shadow of the Lakers, and for some reason they still did it. I still think that was one of the stupidest moves of all time. I don't know why you would do that, but with the Clippers maybe being NBA champions soon, having a new arena and having a bunch of all-stars and Hall of Famers on their team, I feel like no matter what happens, they will always be in the shadow of the Lakers. Not necessarily in the shadow of the Lakers, but I feel like no matter what happens in free agency, everyone will want to go to the Lakers. Even though it's a smarter choice to go to the Clippers, I feel like no matter what happens, players want to go to the Lakers because of what they built and the history and legacy behind them. But I do feel like as well, if the Clippers can build and make something here, make something legendary in these next couple years, it could change how LA looks at the Lakers forever. But in a lot of people's minds, they'll always look at LA and they'll always think of the Lakers. So with that being said, what team do you guys think really runs LA? And I'm talking about right now, I'm not talking about the past, so you better say the Clippers. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't agree with me, you don't have to dislike the video, by the way. That's just rude. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Yo, so I'm sitting here editing this video and I didn't realize how actually short this was. This was like an 11-minute recording. I guess all of it being me just sitting here stuttering. So I do apologize how short the video was. I didn't expect it to be this short, so I do apologize for that.